This piece of land allows us to grow row after row of corn, cotton, and soybeans. That's why, as a farm family of Mississippi, we do our best to take care of this land. Water conservation, improvements in soil health, and reducing our carbon footprint, all to grow the best products we can. It's just how we do things around here, providing for our family and yours, the farm families of Mississippi.
We're going to lead off with a short statement from you, and then we'll open it up to questions. Coach, when you're ready. Yeah, we're going to open up the questions. Again, please state your name and affiliation when asking a question. First one tonight is from Robbie Falk.
Coach Robbie Falk with Starkville Daily News and 247 Sports. From the very moment you came to Mississippi State and talked to the press, talked to the fans, you weren't shying away from that national championship goal that you wanted. Now that that's been realized, what's that mean to you and to this team that's fought for that the last 3 years that you've been here?
You you lose the first game of this series, and you're sitting there, and you know how bad our community, our school, our program wants this trophy. And we talked about it. I think it was Saturday night. We were having to play Texas. How it wouldn't be easy. Just hasn't been easy. And when you're going to do something legendary for the first time, it was going to have to be tough. And it's pretty surreal right now, but the reason we are champions is we just have a really tough, resilient group, and it's been built over time. It's the accumulation of the last 3 years, and it's just been a lot of fun.
Next question will come from Nick Suss.
Chris, this team probably went through more than any other team would have had to with the COVID restrictions and everything you guys had to go through this year. Just for the team to make it this far and to get the first championship in this season, how special does that feel?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's been a long year. It's just been a long year with COVID. It's been a long year with the restrictions. Just been really tough. And to see our guys come out the backside of this as champions is very special.
Our next question will come from Steve Robertson.
Steve Robertson with JeansPage.com. Chris, a couple years ago, we sat in a room in this building, and Jake Mangum tearfully said that you would bring Mississippi State its first ever national championship. Looking back on that moment now and maybe the disappointment then, what does that mean to you to know that you have fulfilled that expectation?
It's pretty awesome. I know you know the feeling. I mean, all our fans know the feeling. It's like we've been waiting for it. I've only been here 3 years, but it's just a special place. And I haven't even been able to walk down the street for the last 4 days. I have to stay in my room because our fans have taken over the city. And the expectations and all the great players for years after years that have played here, to bring home the trophy is just awesome. I mean, I know it's simple words, but and Jake Mangum, he's a big part of this. Almost every player who put on the maroon and white, they have a piece of this trophy tonight because it's been built over years. Like I said earlier, Coach Polk built this many years ago, and fortunately we're able to capitalize on it tonight.
Next question will be from Theo DeRosa.
And Coach Theo DeRosa with the Commission Dispatch. You mentioned all those great players that got you to this point. What can you say about Will Bednar and his legacy here at Mississippi State after a night like tonight?
Pretty amazing. He had to get out of the first, but he had really good stuff, and we weren't sure. We were just trying to feel him out, and he got stronger and stronger, and the innings got shorter and shorter in the middle of the game, and I mean, he's coming in and he is ready to go. And just the opening game against Texas, just every time he's taken the ball here in the postseason, he's just been a champ. And you need somebody to get hot for you in the postseason, and we had that with Will tonight. I'm looking forward to watching him in the future in a big league clubhouse and a stadium, and I'm looking forward to this week's draft and watch where he goes.
Next question will be from John Sokoloff.
Chris, forgive me if it's a little loud out here. There's a lot of your fans. Forgive me if it's a little loud out here. There's a lot of your fans taking pictures outside of here. You know, everyone's just so happy. But for you specifically, what makes you the most emotional when thinking about this year's journey with this group?
Ooh, man. It's been tough. It's been a tough personal year for me. I lost my mom in the fall. My dad's been sick all spring. He's been in the hospital for 2 weeks. So for me, the journey has been trying to hold all that together as these guys have played and done. Our group is so resilient and so tough and so there's short-term memory. It hurts us in the classroom, but on the baseball field it's good for us because they just forget about the bad and keep on playing. And it's just, we can go back to Arkansas weekend or Missouri weekend or the SEC tourney, and you look up and you're just devastated. And you know how much it means to our fans. I mean, we know that. And it means as much or more to us in the program. But to come out on the backside with the trophy in hand it's surreal at this point.
Next question from Elizabeth Merrill.
How hard was it to get Will out of the game? It seemed like he wanted to stay in there forever, pretty much.
He was going to run back out there in the 7th, but that's the inning we had the big inning, and it just got too long. We just felt like he waited too long, and I think he realized that too. And we had a fresh Landon Sims with a 9-run lead and 9 outs to go. So making the smart move there is probably the smart thing to do. So he was okay at that point. I felt like I was going to have to rip it out of his hand at some point, but when the game got expanded and we had that long inning, it was the right thing to do.
Next question will be from David Murray.
David Murray, Gene's Page 24/7. Coach, you've already mentioned how free the team played tonight. Yes, this is a very resilient group. They never take one game into the next game, but with all that's at stake, how do you credit the team and maybe even your staff as well for being so free when all the pressure in the world should be on them?
First of all, I have a tremendous staff, and they have their hands on the players every day just in terms of motivating and everything else. But it's almost crazy in a way that they're always super loose. They're always joking. They're always laughing. They're always picking on each other. And it was like that today in BP. I mean, they're bouncing around the cage and trying to hit oppo jacks and laughing. And I think that's one thing that keeps us playing it the way we do. And even Will Bednar, he came off in the 4th and he had made a PFP play. And I've been giving him a hard time because he missed one up in the regionals. And he came and sprinted right off the field, came to me and was right in my face, giving me a hard time. And they're just in the moment. It's something, I don't know if we're trained that way because we play in big moments so much, but tonight just didn't bother them. And no night has bothered them. They come out and they enjoy playing the game in the biggest moments.
Next question is from Michael Ferrara.
Hi, Coach. Michael Farrar here with Berg Sports Network. You mentioned remembering these seniors, this group. How are you going to remember them, and how should these fans remember this group from like 15, 20 years from now?
Oh, gritty, resilient. I mean, our journey is what I'll remember. You remember the players, and it was, I'm sitting there today in my hotel room, and I know I'm writing Tanner Allen's name down for the last time, and Rowdey Jordan and Will Bednar, and it was hard. I got emotional in our team meeting just because I've enjoyed coaching them so much, enjoyed being on the journey with them. And you enjoy it. It's just this team won't be together on the field again. I'm just glad that they can finish as legends. And when you go to Starkville, Mississippi, and you're around 20 years from now, it'll be they'll be remembered by everybody.
Okay, we'll go back to Robbie Falk.
Yeah, Chris, the defense this year was kind of up and down. Y'all had some struggles early in the season, but y'all were never better than this week and the last couple of weeks here at the College World Series. No errors, and today some huge plays behind Will just how special did you feel like that group was this week to get you to this point and to ultimately help you get to national championship?
Yeah, the pressure plays all week, last week, really the whole postseason. I don't know how many errors we've made in the postseason. I think my pitchers kicked a couple around, but the defenders, man, they've been awesome. I thought Braylon Skinner made a great play in the gap today, and they've been great. I mean, they're talented. We struggled a little bit. We had to figure our way out a little bit early. Cameron James had to work on some things, and but man, he played unbelievable and played with such confidence. Lane Forsythe's one of the best shortstops in the country. It is what it is in terms of daily, just picking the ball. And Scotty DeBrule, he's a really high-level defender too. So you have some guys that have real talent, but they played at a really high level this week.
Okay, we're going to have time for 2 more questions. The first from Nick Suss.
Chris, was there ever a point where you let yourself kind of gaze up at the scoreboard and savor the moment during the game today?
With 2 outs in the 9th, I turned and Cheese, one of my coaches, was sitting right beside me, and we both lost parents in the last year. And I turned to him and I said, "Man, I hope they have a good seat tonight." And that was kind of my moment. The lead was so big, we were able to relax a little bit. But that's my only time during the game. I had to keep shaking my head. My old coach at the Citadel used to always tell me to shake your head in the big games and get the bad thoughts out, because you start thinking about celebrating or dogpiling, and then you get beat. So I tried to stay pretty focused all night long, but that's kind of with 2 outs. That was the one that hit me.
Yeah, our final question for Coach tonight is from Theo DeRosa.
Coach, you mentioned Landon Sims. I mean, he's been on the mound for pretty much every big win. Just what is it like to have a guy like that you know you can turn to him and you know that he can be on the mound at the end of all of this?
I mean, if you go back over the year, we gave him the ball in so many big moments. I don't think he ever lost the lead. The only time he got hit is I put him in a blowout in the SEC tournament to get work, and it's the only time he got hit all year long. I mean, he has just been phenomenal, and he was phenomenal here. And really, we didn't have to use him during the year. But, man, during this last month, he's had to take the ball a couple times when he's fatigued, and he still just competes. And I'm looking forward to – I'm glad we got him back for another year, and I know he's going to go play Team USA this summer. But man, the year he had, I mean, most people haven't had years like him in college baseball. And every time he pitches, it's just so much pressure, and he's performed every single time.
Okay, Coach, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Hey, can I say something real quick?
Yes.
Hey, I want to thank all our media is great, but we have this big group that covers us in Mississippi, and we appreciate you. The stories you tell, the articles you write, and the articles you write when we win, like a night like this, but also the professionalism you have when we lose, and you still support us, and we appreciate you. Y'all have a good night, and I know you'll enjoy celebrating this one too. Y'all have a great night. Hail State.
Thank you, Coach. We'll be joined shortly by Tanner Allen. Again, we're going to use the raise your hand function to ask a question. And again, please state your name and affiliation when asking a question. Okay, we're going to open it up straight to questions for Tanner. Our first question tonight is from Steve Robertson.
Steve Robertson with genespage.com. TA, a lot of water under the bridge for you since you've shown up to Mississippi State. Kind of describe how you're feeling right now and what it feels like to bring this first championship home.
Man, I'm on top of the world. I couldn't be more happy for a team, a town, a fan base, the whole state of Mississippi, except Oxford, of course. Those guys are always on my back, so hey, had to take a shot at them. But, man, this team overcame everything, man. From getting swept at home in front of 10,000 versus Arkansas to Missouri coming in and taking a series from us and then getting embarrassed at the SEC tournament, we just kept playing and kept playing and kept playing. And you blink of an eye, we're national champions, man. God is so good.
Okay, our next question will be from David Murray.
David Murray, Gene's Page 24/7. Tanner, we were talking to your coach about how loose y'all were going to this game, and you've been a loose bunch most of the year, but how did you and other players just stay relaxed in the moment and not think about this is all or nothing, this is for a championship, and treat it like a ball game?
Yes, sir. We just take it one pitch at a time. We're locked in. We knew what was at stake. We knew going into this game we had an opportunity to do something that had never been done. And we just came together and played with each other and left it all on the field and let God take over, man. And like I said, we're natty champs, mission accomplished.
Next question will come from Michael Ferrara.
Hi, Tanner. Michael Farrar here with Berg Sports Network. You're a senior. You know, you've come out on top as a senior. What's it like to go out with this senior class? And your coach, what has he meant to you throughout your whole Mississippi State career?
Coach Lim is unbelievable, man. He's a player's coach. I tell everybody all the time. You know, that guy is somebody you want to play for. He knows when to be serious and he knows when to be loose. And to be honest with you, when we're loose and he's loose, it just clicks. So he's a great coach. He's really organized. He does the things the right way. Jake said it a while back, I think in 19, that he was going to bring home a national championship, and by God, he did it. And I couldn't be more happy for him.
Okay, we'll go back to Steve Robertson.
A couple of Alabama guys, you and Rowdey, come in here and lead this program. What's he meant to you?
It's just, I didn't want to do it with anybody else, let's put it like that. In the fall, me and Rowdey came back, we were like, man, I didn't just come back to make the playoffs or make a super regional. I wanted to come back to win a national championship, and I believed it, and we all believed it, you know, and just came together and played together. And like I said, we left it all on the field.
Okay, any more questions for Tanner? Oh, seen one from Theo DeRosa.
The pitching that you guys had, specifically Will and Landon, how important were those guys to getting to this point?
The bullpen did an outstanding job, especially yesterday. Preston eating up innings for us. He did an outstanding job. Gave Landon another day's rest, and you know, Willie B coming out on like 3 or 4 days of rest and doing what he did is just unbelievable, man. I couldn't be more happy for him. You know, I told Berkey earlier, Chris Berg, I said, man, I had a really good feeling. We're up 9, and I see 2-3 come out of the pen. And Landon did his thing like he always does and just slammed the door.
Okay, seeing no more questions. Tanner, thank you for your time.
Hail State.
Okay, we're going to be joined shortly by Landon Sims. Again, please use the raise your hand function to get in line, ask a question, and please state your name and affiliation when you're called upon. Okay, we're going to open up directly to questions for Landon. Our first question is from Rowdey Falk.
Hey, Landon, Robbie Falk, Starkville Daily News, 247 Sports. You've closed a lot of games so far this season and celebrated after the games, but none of them like that with your teammates. What was that feeling like after you got the final out there and got to celebrate with your team?
I mean, that's the best feeling I've ever had in my life. You know, it still hasn't completely set in that we're national champions, but, you know, for whatever it's been the past hour, just really debriefing with everybody. You know, it's been a lot the past few weeks, the past month, you know, really since August with COVID and everything. You know, it's a lot of hard work has paid off, and, you know, being the last team standing in college baseball was the goal, and, you know, we worked really hard for that.
Okay, well, next question will be from Nick Suss.
Where were you in the dog pile, and just kind of what is that experience like?
I was at the very bottom. I think Logan was actually protecting me a little bit, thank you to him. But I was on the bottom of the dog pile when we won the Super Regional too, and that one was a lot worse than this one. I was in a little bit more comfortable position on this one.
Our next question will come from Michael Ferrara.
Hi, Landon. Michael Farrar here with Berg Sports Network. The national championship, you guys have came to Omaha so many times. What's it like to lead the seniors out on top, and what's it like to be a national champion?
You know, everybody on this team deserves every little bit of this success, especially the guys who have been here through it all. You know, they deserve everything in the world. They've been here three. I think the older guys have been here 3 times, and the third time was the charm. They ended up on top, and you know, it means a lot to the younger guys who get to come back next year and defend a title. But to send those guys off on top is a really, really good feeling. They deserve the world.
Next question comes from Elizabeth Merrill.
Hi, Elizabeth Merrill, ESPN.com. Could you speak to Will's performance on 3 days rest? And also, did you get a sense of how badly he wanted to come back and keep pitching?
Yeah, that guy's a bulldog. He's the greatest competitor I've ever played with. He works his butt off every single day. There's a lot that goes into his process, his work, everything behind the scenes that nobody sees. He's a great guy. He deserves everything. All the success he's had right here, he deserves every little bit of it. Us coming in together and competing against each other for spots, I couldn't be happier for him with what he's done and the success he's put up in his short time here. And, whoever ends up drafting him is going to get a bulldog and, the best competitor out there.
Okay, our next question will be from Greg Eklund.
Hello, congratulations. Greg Eklund from Omaha Public Radio and NPR. National title game, Will's throwing a no-no with no hits on the board. He hands the ball to you. Tell me the feeling that you had at that point.
To be honest with you, the last thing I was worried about was giving up a hit right there. I just wanted to come in there and throw strikes, and if they got a hit, they got a hit. But I didn't want to put anybody on base. With a 9-run lead, I just got to pound the zone and let my defense work behind me. And it ended up working out with a 0 in the run column at the end of the game.
Greg, another question?
No, thank you.
Okay. See no more questions. Landon, thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys.
Well done, Landon.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be followed shortly by Will Bednar. Again, please raise your hand to ask a question. State your name and affiliation when called upon. Okay, we'll go straight to questions for Will. Our first question is from Michael Ferrara.
Hi, Will. Michael Farrar here with Berg Sports Network. 2 questions for you here. What's it like to be a national champion, and what's it like to play for your coach?
Oh, it's the greatest feeling ever to be a national champion. Especially this group of guys. We worked so hard to get here, and this is awesome. It's unbelievable.
Okay, our next question will be from Robbie Falk.
Will, Robbie Falk from Starkville Daily News and 247 Sports. It looks like the effects of 3 days rest might have been there from the control standpoint, but you just kept gritting out those innings, and then you were able to kind of pitch to contact and let your defense play behind you. How are you feeling out there, and what did that performance feel like that to put up 0 runs in 6 innings like you did?
It was awesome. It was incredible. Obviously those first 2 innings were a little shaky, but I was able to get in a groove there and really let my defense play behind me. We got a lot of studs back there, so I might as well just let them hit the ball. It was good. It was good to be out there, and I got just a little tired there at the end, but it was awesome.
Our next question will be from Nick Suss.
Will, has it set into you just how well you pitched these last 3 outings to kind of deliver your team a championship? I know you have the most outstanding trophy hardware, but that was a legendary performance you just pulled off.
It really hasn't set in. I kind of just went out there and treated it like every other outing, to be honest with you. So I just kind of, treated it like it was any other game and just kind of rolled with it.
Okay, we'll go to Elizabeth Merrill.
Elizabeth Merrill, ESPN.com. Will, could you describe the bargaining or whatever it is that went through as you were trying to pitch another inning, both in the 6th and the 7th?
It was just kind of back and forth, just talk about how I felt and kind of where pitch count was at, and just that kind of stuff. It wasn't really any crazy bargaining. It was just me telling them how I felt and how everything was feeling.
Okay, we'll go back to Robbie Falk.
Well, obviously a big day coming up down the line later next month, and I guess that decision will come. But if this is your last game at Mississippi State, what's it meant to pitch here and to close it out like this?
Oh, it means the world. The Mississippi State baseball fans deserve it. We got the greatest fans in the world, and they've been supporting us from day one. So it's awesome to be able to deliver that to them.
Okay, our next question will go back from Nick Suss.
Did you give any guff to Landon for not finishing off the no-hitter?
No, not really. I mean, I'm sure I'll probably give him bust his chops tomorrow, but you know, I mean, won the national championship. I don't really care all that much. You know, I really couldn't care less about that right now. I mean, I'm on cloud nine.
Our next question will be from John Nyatawa.
Yeah, John Nyatawa with the Omaha World Herald. What's the feeling like when your teammates are kind of giving you the hugs and the high fives in the dugout after your performance? You know your day is done. Do you allow yourself to reflect at all in that moment, or I guess, I mean, how do you remember sort of what you were thinking then?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to have their support. Got some awesome teammates, but kind of after that, I was kind of right back into, you know, just blacking out, trying to support Landon. You know, I'm probably one of Landon's biggest supporters. We're boys, we push each other, so I'm always just top step, just going crazy for him.
Okay, we'll go to Michael Ferrara.
Hi, Will. Michael Farrar again with Berg Sports. 2 questions for you again. What was it like going through the dog pile? Where were you in that on the celebration? And being named MVP, what's that moment like for you?
So the dog pile, I just try to stay as far away from the bottom as I could. I haven't been in the bottom yet, and I really don't plan on being in the bottom. I was kind of just on the outer edge, just you know, just jumping around. But yeah, I try to stay far away from the bottom. And then the MVP was unreal. I didn't really expect it, to be honest. But that was just a surreal feeling to get that.
Okay, Will, seeing no more questions, thank you for your time.
Thanks, guys. Hail State.